The right type of brake pads are a must. There's a lot of different companies and a lot of different compounds out there, but when I'm looking for a new set of pads, I go for the hardest pad I can find. Whether it be a double H or a sintered or a race pad, the harder the compound, the better performance and the better feel and response you're going to get out of your brakes. What you don't want is a set of soft pads like black or organic. Those, in my opinion, are junk. In fact, the set of organics almost killed me a couple years back. I'm doing a wheelie, doing fine, I bring it back a little too far, I go to stab the rear brake and it doesn't have enough stopping power to bring me back. Almost looped that thing at high speeds. No good. In fact, I've even burnt through a set of those things in less than 4 hours. That pad's just not my favorite. I look for a hard pad for best performance. I try to go with a sintered or a double H or a race pad, but if I can't find those, I go down to the dealer and get a stock set of Nissan pads. Those things work great too. Brake fluid is the most important part of your entire brake system. You could go out and spend all the money in the world and have the sickest brakes, but without the right brake fluid, your entire system is junk. What you need to go out and find the highest boiling point .4 fluid possible. Now you're thinking, boiling point? I'm not cooking with the stuff. Yeah, well, I hope not, but you are cooking the brakes every time you squeeze the lever. Here's the deal. When I hit the brakes, fluid gets pushed from the master cylinder through the lines into the calipers, which then push on the brake pads, causing them to squeeze the rotor from both sides. And that's how they stop the bike. But from the friction of the pads squeezing the rotor, they build up a huge amount of heat. And here's where the boiling point comes into play. When brake fluid boils, it bubbles inside your brake system, just like a pot would on the stove. And when that happens, you lose all control of your brakes. Trust me, there's nothing scarier than hauling ass, grabbing a fistful of front brake and nothing happens. So to avoid this, I always go for the highest boiling point .4 fluid I can find. .3 is for automotive and low performance use only. It has a very low boiling point and you should never use it in any motorcycle. .4 has a higher boiling point and is for high performance, like race cars and motorcycles. However, some .4s are better than others. Check the label on the back and make sure it has the highest wet and dry boiling point possible. Most of the .4s you buy at bike shops should be fine, but check the label on the back to make sure. .5. Do not use .5 in your motorcycle ever. It's a silicone-based fluid and can crystallize in your lines and ruin your entire brake system. There's no way to clean it out and you'll have to buy a whole new brake system all over again. Only use .4.